You and your Ipsy bag.
I don't have an Ipsy bag today, honey. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. God bless you. Today I have swatches for you from the new China Glaze Rebel Collection. This is their fall 2016 collection. I bought mine off of 88 Beauty and I will link them in the description box below. I will also link in the description box below my Instagram page where I will have swatches and macros and individual video swatches, like always, of this whole collection. So there are 12 polishes in this collection and we will get started. So up first we have Y'all Ready For This, and this is a bright red shimmer polish, and the shimmer in there seems like it's either a silver or a lighter pink. So here's our first coat of Y'all Ready For This. This one has a super creamy, super buttery, delicious formula, and it is completely opaque in one coat for me. I didn't have any nail line and the color matched the color in the bottle. I did do a little bit of cuticle flooding, but that is my fault. So there's our only coat. Up next is Pearl Jammin', and this is kind of like that pearly blue with a stronger gold yellow shimmer. Here is our first coat of Pearl Jammin', and we went from super opaque to super sheer. This one did take me 4 coats to build up completely. It had a good formula, it was easy to work with, it's just sheer and it's patchy and I feel like it'd be beautiful over black. But on its own, I would never really wear this, it just takes too much to build up. But it is a really, really pretty color, and that opal shimmer does come through quite a lot on the nail. It translates to the nail really nicely. So there's 2 coats. Here is 3 coats of Pearl Jammin'. And again, I do still see spots on the 3rd coat. I did the 4th coat off camera because it just got way too long. So I am going to stop on camera with 3 coats, but in my photos I have 4. Next up is Don't Mesh With Me, and this is a glitter topper that goes from a purple to blue to almost like a yellow. And I'm layering Don't Mesh With Me over Pearl Jammin'. This is 4 coats of Pearl Jammin' and 1 coat of Don't Mesh With Me. I don't recommend this combo, but it is really pretty. This one has a really nice formula as well. So there's our 1 coat. Next up is Jagged Little Teal, and this is a deeper teal polish. I would say this is almost turquoise. My lighting is showing it a little bit darker than it really is. So here's our first coat of Jagged Little Teal. And this one actually has pretty good coverage on the first coat. This is one that I also think if you weren't too picky and you did a thick enough coat, you could get it completely opaque in 1 coat, but I'd rather avoid the mess and just go ahead and do 2. But I'm making a mess anyway, so where do we draw the line? Here's our 2nd coat of Jagged Little Teal, and this one does cover completely in 2 coats for me. This one also dries really glossy, but I do recommend a good top coat. This one also does have a really nice, really easy to work with formula. So there's 2 coats. Up next is Holo At Ya Girl, and this is another glitter topper. This one seems to go from this like gold to a darker blue to almost a purple on the outer edges. And I am layering Holo At Ya Girl over Jagged Little Teal. This is absolutely a beautiful combination, and this is just 1 coat of Holo At Ya Girl. I do not like this polish on its own though, so I do recommend layering it over a dark polish. So there's 1 coat of Holo At Ya Girl. Up next is Combat Blutes, and this is a darker polish. This one does dry to a matte finish, and when added a top coat, you can really see that there's a lot of shimmer in there as well. And here's our first coat of Combat Blutes, and this one is really, really opaque on the first coat. You could get this completely opaque in 1 coat, but since it does dry super fast and super matte, you can see my pinky's already drying. I didn't want to work with it too much, so I do have a couple of empty spots, If you work with a polish like this too much, it will start to drag that layer underneath, so just be aware of that. So here's our second coat of Combat Blutes, and this one does cover completely in 2 coats for me. This one does have a really nice formula. You just have to be wary of that matte finish and the quick dry time. So there's 2 coats. Up next we have Booyah, and this one is a blue jelly base with those like gold, green, teal glitter. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of the glitter from Holo At Ya Girl in Booyah, so it's kind of like a mixture between Holo At Ya Girl and Combat Blutes, in my opinion. Here's our first coat of Booyah. This one does have a really nice formula too. The glitter in this is super strong, and it does translate to your nail really well. This one has really good coverage on the first coat. Another one that I feel like could be completely opaque in one coat if you worked with it enough. Here's our second coat. I feel like this collection though is super blue heavy. I mean, there's like 6 polishes in here that are considered blue, and I'm just uninspired by that overall. So there's 2 coats. Up next is Teen Spirit, and this one is a black jelly base with, I think it's like a multi-shifting glitter from this like dark blue to a purple to a yellow, and I know you can't see that on my camera because you can't see at my angle, but those different colors are definitely in there. Here's our first coat of Teen Spirit. And this one does cover also really well on the first coat. Another one that could be a one coater. Ignore this patchiness though that I keep getting. I just oiled up my hands at this point, so it is not the polish, it is just leftover oil on my nail. So here's our second coat of Teen Spirit, and this one does cover completely in 2 coats for me. Again, really great, really easy to work with formula. I don't expect anything less from China Glaze, though. I've only been wearing their polish for about a year and I love it. So there's 2 coats. Next up we have Purple Fiction, and this is a brighter purple. It's kind of like a berry color with a strong purple pink shimmer throughout it. Here is our first coat of Purple Fiction. And I'm not normally a purple lover. It's just kind of not who I am, but this is gorgeous. This one has a really great formula, easy to work with. It is just a little bit patchy on this first coat, so I'm going to go ahead and do a second. So here's our second coat of Purple Fiction. And this one does cover completely in 2 coats for me, and it does deepen the color quite a bit as well. But it's so beautiful. It's got like that gorgeous, gorgeous shimmer that actually almost makes it look like a magnetic polish to me. So there's 2 coats. Up next is the oddball of the collection, and this is Fresh Princess. This is a pink cream polish, a little bit on the brighter side, but also slightly dusty. And just from my teeny tiny China Glaze collection, I do have one that's pretty similar, but not exactly a dupe. This one is Pink of Me, and then this one is Fresh Princess. So it is just a little bit more pink than Pink of Me. And here's our first coat of Fresh Princess. And this is a gorgeous color also, a dainty, cute little princess pink polish. But it kind of threw me off that China Glaze would put this out as, you know, their fall collection. But it is an absolutely gorgeous polish with a really, really nice formula. So there's 1 coat. Here's our second coat of Fresh Princess. And it might look completely opaque in 2 coats on camera, but I did need 3 coats every time I used it, and I painted my nails 3 times for all my swatches for this. So there's 2 coats. And here's our third coat of Fresh Princess, and this one does cover completely in 3 coats for me. This one also dries extremely glossy though, so you might be able to skip the top coat, though I recommend it. So there's 3 coats. Next up we have Heroin Chic, and this is kind of like a brown base, like a chocolatey brown, almost olivey green, kind of gray with those red glitters throughout it. And here's our first coat of Heroin Chic. Now this is a fall color to me. This is something I can guarantee I'll be wearing constantly in the fall time. Absolutely beautiful, and those hints of red are just gorgeous. I love this. So here's our second coat of Heroin Chic, and this one does cover completely in 2 coats for me. A really easy to work with formula. Great formula actually. So there's 2 coats. And last up we have Taupe, and this is just a taupe cream polish. And here is our first coat of Taupe. Again, this is one that I see myself wearing often in the fall, so I'm super excited about this. A really nice, really easy to work with formula. This is another one that could be a 1-coater if you worked with it enough. However, I do prefer the look of 2 coats over 1 thick coat. So here's our second coat, and this does cover completely in 2 coats. Again, really, really great formula. I know I've said that a lot in this collection, but I absolutely mean it. So there's 2 coats. So as far as favorites go, I kind of have like an array of things going on. Fresh Princess is kind of like my go-to color, but since it is nearing the end of summer, it's not going to be worn as much as I feel like it should be, except for those days, I guess, that I'm missing the warm weather. So Fresh Princess is actually one of my kind of staple shades. Taupe was a surprise favorite for me. Granted, I love this color and it's a fantastic formula. It just kind of seemed blah, almost boring, but it is absolutely a beautiful shade, and I love the formula. It was fantastic. So Taupe is actually one of my surprise favorites. And then probably my favorite of the entire collection is Teen Spirit. It's got that like super dark where you kind of have to take a second glance at it to see what color it is. Look to it. So I actually really like this. The shifting from the blue to the purple, everything is just fantastic here. It's almost a 1-coater. It's got a really easy to work with formula, good coverage, just a great polish. So that is the entire fall 2016 collection from China Glaze, their Rebel collection. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this collection. Let me know if you plan on picking anything up, and let me know if you had a favorite from this collection. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!
Bye guys!